This idiot has made a program about him and his world, and I'm sure that it's fascinating to him and the privileged few mates of his, these sexist South Americans who play the sport, but it's of no interest to anyone else. This series doesn't make any effort to make it interesting to anyone else. It is a mega dud, isn't it?
This show did not do you any favors. It did not do your sport any favors. It did not elevate it in a positive way in any shape, any way, shape, or form. My favorite line was, "It's clattering and niche and feels like a spoof documentary designed to play on the screens in the background of episodes of Succession," which is brilliant, because that's exactly what it felt like. It just felt there was no meat. There was no heart. And yeah, this is Harry's favorite sport, but like, we didn't even get Prince Harry talking us through that. I mean, Harry, why do you play? You play.
Welcome. This is Majesty Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. The daily tirades of criticism aimed at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have long since crossed the line from opinion into obsession. The attacks on their documentary, Polo, even before a single frame aired, are not about the quality of the show, but a coordinated effort to undermine their success. These critics, driven by bitterness and unrelenting bias, have once again revealed their inability to see beyond their echo chambers of hatred. And being the mouthpiece of the billionaire owners of the outlets these seemingly controlled puppets work for. It is a calculated attempt to dismantle the narrative integrity of Prince Harry and Meghan's documentary, revealing a deeply troubling pattern of media manipulation and psychological aggression. The critics' fundamental mischaracterization of the documentary betrays a willful ignorance of its profound human narrative. What they dismiss as a boring sport for the elite is in fact a deeply human narrative that resonates with the struggles, ambitions, and relationships that define us all. At the heart of Polo is not wealth or privilege, but humanity. The series transcends the sport itself, shedding light on relationships fraught with pressure, sacrifice, and love. For instance, the tense dynamic between Timmy, Dutta, and his son, little Timmy, speaks to the universal theme of parental expectations and generational tension. Adolfo Cambiaso, the world's top polo player, struggles to step aside as his son, Poroto, carves out his own identity. A story as old as time, echoing the challenges faced by every child who lives in the shadow of greatness. And what about Louis? Grappling with the ghost of a strict father and his own fears of inadequacy. Or Keiko, whose injuries and performance anxieties jeopardize not just his career, but his 1-year-old relationship. The documentary courageously examines the emotional toll of professional sports on personal relationships, explores the delicate balance between athletic ambition and familiar connections. It highlights the often overlooked emotional labor of partners supporting athletes. These are stories of perseverance, of love, and resilience laid bare on the polo field. To reduce this to a narrative of rich people riding little horses is to willfully ignore the series' heart. A reflection of lives intertwined by a shared pursuit of meaning, all while battling personal and relational turmoil. It is no coincidence that this relentless criticism began way before the series even aired. First, they said the docuseries was canceled, then asserted that the bosses at Netflix was disappointed, very angry that the docuseries wasn't filled with Harry's shenanigans. I wonder why. So they can then complain and criticize Prince Harry for being an attention streetwalker? And then to say, well, look how low he has stooped. This is all Meghan Markle's doing. She turned him into this lost and pathetic prince. You see, very powerful people within British media, the owners themselves, and the royal family have much to lose if the Sussexes succeed. And if past projects are any indicator, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex hard work will pay off. With court cases against UK media giants brought forth by Prince Harry, there is the danger of the dirty laundry of the relationships between the press, the royal family, and political institutions will be revealed. Figures like Kevin O'Sullivan and Kinsey Schofield are part of the orchestrated campaign designed to drown out the voices of Harry and Meghan. You see, the aim is very transparent. It's to stifle their influence, disrupt their business endeavors, and perpetuate the narrative that they are failures. What O'Sullivan and Schofield represents is not journalism, but a form of psychological warfare. Their continuous, relentless negative coverage reveals more about their own psychological state than about the documentary or its subjects. Now, characteristics of this media aggression: persistent negativity, lack of substantive critique, coordinated attack strategies, deliberate misrepresentation, psychological manipulation of public perception. Now, here's where ethical implications get involved. This sustained media assault raises critical questions about the psychological impact of constant vilification, media responsibility in public discourse, the ethics of character assassination, the broader societal implications of such targeted campaign. IMDb reviews flooded with suspiciously uniform negative ratings, revealing very superficial viewpoints, are a glaring example of this calculated attack. Now, this is not an isolated occurrence by any means. The same strategy was employed against Live to Lead, a series presented by, you guessed right, Prince Harry and Meghan, spotlighting global changemakers like the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Greta Thunberg, Siva Kolisi, Brian Stevenson, and many others. These coordinated campaigns are not about the content, but about silencing a couple whose very existence challenges entrenched power structures.
I'm convinced that being Jamaican is peak entertainment because why did I just get off the phone with my mom? And she was talking about how she was catching up with one of my younger cousins. And this lady proceeds to say, every time I see her, she look like difficulty and hardship. Just cause she there with little man and the man not treat her right, man. You know, right, as a woman, you have to maintain yourself, man. You have to maintain yourself. And so I was like, Mommy, did you say that to her? Because I know her, right? Like, I know she's good for it. And she's like, of course, you have to know, man. Obviously, our little dry-head friend, them not tell her. They not tell her, oh, she looks so tired. She look like dry-up curtain. And then, when me, oh, gosh, she smell like dishwashing liquid. Me say, Mommy. Oh. Mommy. You can't talk to people like that. You cannot talk to people like that. No, man, somebody have to tell her. Maybe she don't know. If somebody ever looked me dead in my face as I'm going through a difficult time and told me I looked like difficulties and hardships, I'm tapping out, bro. Like, I'm tapping out. Jamaican people are so they're so rude, and they'll be so genuine about it. Like, they'll be so genuine about it. It's wow. I'm gonna have to call her. I need to check up on her because that's not nice. That's not nice at all. Difficulties and hardship, and she looked like dry up curtain and smell like dishwashing liquid.
What these critics fail to grasp, or perhaps willfully ignore, is the psychological toll of their words. Relentless negativity poisons the discourse, not just for Harry and Meghan, but for the audiences consuming this toxicity. Hate is a corrosive force, eroding empathy and fostering an environment where bullying masquerades as critique. Kevin O'Sullivan and Kinsey Schofield commentaries reeks of bitterness, their barbs more reflective of their own insecurities than any substantive flaw in the documentary. Their inability to find joy or meaning in the deeply human stories of Polo speaks volumes. Look, happy people, after all, do not spend their days tearing others down. Ironically, the vitriolic critique says more about O'Sullivan and Schofield than about the documentary. Their inability to recognize the profound human stories reveals a superficial understanding of storytelling, a preference for sensationalism over substance. a potentially toxic professional approach, deep-seated personal bias. The narrative surrounding Polo is a microcosm of a broader societal issue: the refusal to engage with content in good faith. It is easier to derive than to understand, to mock than to empathize. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to connect with stories that challenge and inspire us. Let me suggest that we should reject this continuous cycle of negativity. Let us approach stories like Polo with open hearts, recognizing the humanity that unites us all. And let us demand better from our media journalism that informs rather than inflames, critiques that enlighten rather than destroy. Polo is not just a series about a sport. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a story that deserves to be told and heard. Do not let the noise of these so-called critics drown out its quiet, powerful truth. Watch it and see for yourself.
And from one of the most enjoyable moments to a terrible moment really fast, and kind of always in the back of your mind say, that won't happen to me. It won't happen to my dad. And it does. Yeah. That might be 1 minute. We're taking every single little win that we can with my dad. But sorrow and trauma, like it doesn't care who you are, it'll come for you. It's amazing how much like a little squeeze of the finger means these days, and to open your eyes and to have a semblance of a smile or something like that. It's like, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, all the little wins are absolutely, they're the most exciting thing in my world these days, you know, honestly. Like the other day my mom kissed him and you could see his lips move. It's like it just goes to show, you know, there's so many things in the world to be excited about and all that kind of stuff, but like when it really comes down to it, like a kiss from your wife when you're in that space, like, is unbelievable. You can count on one hand the amount of people who matter, really, really matter to you.